Welcome back to the Unskilled Mechanic. Today we're doing the shocks on the Roadrunner. If you want to see more of this car, please let us know down in the comments. Please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.
So step one, lift up.
So what do we got going today?
Okay, so today we're going to remove replace the front shocks on a 69 Roadrunner. The first step was to remove the hood so we would have access to the upper shock tower. And now we're going to remove the tires. Something to keep in mind with the 69 is the threads are different between the left and right side. On the right side here, they're normal threads or right-handed threads, and on the other side, they're left turn. So I've seen many break over the years because people weren't aware.
So it's not a really big job, right? Basic tools, impact hammer, or impact wrench, the sockets, impact sockets.
That's about it.
Yeah. On the older cars, it's not that sophisticated. As long as the car's in good shape. Because if it's not, you're a little rusty.
The trick on these is what you just said. Northeast cars, this happens to be a Northeast car, but it was never driven, or at least not much in the winter, so it's in really, really good shape. But a typical Northeast car, that's where you start to get into the battle.
So how many bolts hold it in? Actually, just two, right?
One on the bottom and a stud on the top, and that's it.
Oh yeah. Lucky the bolts are coming loose because this can be a pain if they're not.
So a trick to keep in mind with these, when you have an old pair and they're just too stubborn, this top stud will actually break or cut off pretty easily.
So what do you do? Just cut it off from the top and just compress it?
Yeah, you just literally just cut them off or break them off. I would do that here, but on this one, because it's the original, I'm still going to keep it around.
Yeah, plus it's actually, the threads are decent. I gotta go underneath here. Take a look while you're doing that.
Original, you can tell that the originals actually go all the way through. So now my debate is, do I keep it or not?
Oh, the bushing?
Yeah.
Oh, I see. So it's connected on both sides of the shock tower.
Yeah, the originals are.
Oh
Yep.
yeah, check that out.
So we'll have to debate what to do with that. Okay. So let's see if we got the shock out.
Oh, that's really neat. Oh, so there's the shock.
That's the original shock. And you can see it actually still does pick up some pressure.
That's amazing after all those years.
But it's not, by today's standards, just not as good to drive with. So we're going to replace them with something that's a little better to drive with.
Oh, nice. It's amazing. They're not actually that rusty. A little bit on the full flaky end. No, actually, really not at all.
That's from the miracles of sandblasting.
Yeah.
So here's the original unit. The bushing is old, but it's still actually not in bad shape.
Oh, I see that. So what do? You just pull the rubber part off? Oh no, it's actually one piece because it's got a sleeve in the middle.
Okay, we debated keeping the originals, but as soon as I tore into them, you can see they are just so dry rotted. But the condition overall speaks to the car itself. This car has been in such, just such great shape. So we are going to go ahead and replace it because we want the shocks to work properly, obviously. But it gives you some idea of what wonderful shape the car is in. Okay, so here are the new and the old next to each other, and I just thought I would show quickly. I did decide to remove the old bushing, just because, as I said, they were just so rotted or dried out, as you can see. Biggest difference is this is a gas charge shock, and you can see how much effort it takes me to close it, and it immediately comes right back up. It always wants to open. And the original style is an oil charge shock. And you can see from this one, it's, it's seen better days, for sure.
Yeah. But for being original, it's in great shape. I mean, but still, they age, so you gotta replace them.
What I like about this particular shock that replaces it is it's a very close match to the original. So they're hard to detect for those that are worried about originality. This car is not perfectly original to begin with, but it's pretty good. So I try to keep it as close as I can. Okay, so we're just going to get ready to place this in the bottom. And we'll put the flat side down so that this can meet up with the joint. Like that. I'm going to leave this band down here for now. We'll cut that off once it's on, because when these expand, they're a lot tougher to deal with.
So you reroute the shock through the control arm up to the shock tower.
Okay, this is where it gets a little tough. Depending on how these were installed in the past, it can be a little tough to get it to install in the bottom. So with a little bit of patience, I'll try to get a better shot of it.
Because you're referring what the lower.
It's a matter of opening the lower control arm a little bit more. So we'll work on that now, and we'll pick it up in a moment. Okay, so we're pretty close. We'll just use a screwdriver or a punch to help get the holes aligned, make sure everything looks good, and then we're ready to try the bolt. And you can see we're pretty close right now. Try to tap it a little bit. Okay. Now we'll check this side. When installing these two, remember, they're made to stay in tightly, so one side is cupped in a little bit. Make sure you start the proper direction, which is obviously the flat side.
It's nice because you're lined up with the shock tower pretty well too. So when you release it, it should go no problem.
Okay, so speaking of the shock tower, check, make sure our grommet's in place, everything's ready, and we're gonna clip the wire and let this thing expand.
All right, so you ready to expand the shock? So we left it tight because it's under a lot of pressure. Oh yeah, look at that, there it goes. Oh, check that out, yeah. So to push that down would be really hard?
Well, it's not impossible, but why fight it?
Yeah, right.
Make it work with you.
All right. So we'll use the impact wrench to draw off the slack. Nice, got it?
Just want to torque it.
There we go.
Okay, so for the top, we just do the same process. Pushing on.
So we're using the new grommets with the new for the new shock. You can see, geez, yeah, they weren't compressed at all, obviously, but you see the difference.
Yeah, I like the original stuff, but when it comes to things like this, better to use the new.
Yeah, definitely. Wow.
We're going to start it by hand.
Yeah, the manual for these cars is still available for anyone, you know, you can get off of Amazon or swap meets, that type of thing. It's good because you can get all the original specs to the car. Look at that, squeezing it right down. That looks great. That looks pretty good.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, looks really good. Look at that. Very nice. So what now, torque it?
Yeah, you're good.
Just reinstalling the tire. Nice. Makes it easy when you don't have any hubcaps.
No hubcaps for this car.